After working in a dealership as a mechanic for several years, God put it on my heart to open my own shop, one that could serve the community and bless people in need. It would be a place where I could provide for my family and be part of God's work. I soon found a place near Center Street Church. It was a dump, but I walked in and I felt God was in this place. I didn't have the finances ready, but I trusted Him, and I left my job of 22 years, stepping out in faith. God provided to get the shop up and running. I was worried that we wouldn't have enough customers to make ends meet, but I continued to trust God. Since opening up, I've never advertised, and I've never had a slow day. We've been open for 2.5 years, and we have a customer base of over 1,200 people. Throughout this time, we have seen God be generous with our business so we could be generous to others. People come in and they've got stories. Everybody has a story. And so when we look at each individual, whether it's someone who was referred or not, we can get a sense where people are at, the state of their vehicle. They're quite open when it comes to expenses, what they can afford and they can't. And when I give them a price, they're either okay with it or sometimes they're having a difficult time. When I see a hesitation, I ask a few questions and I start asking, is that too much? Can you afford that? And then we start looking at ways that we can help them out. So whether it's a discount on the parts, if it's spreading out the payments on the repair, because most people are able to pay. They just might not be able to pay right away. So God just puts it on my heart. I can't explain it. I had a gentleman yesterday that came in. We did his brakes for him. He couldn't afford the repair. I handed him his keys and he left, smiling. He felt blessed, but I felt more blessed because I felt I was doing God's will. We've been able to impact people for single moms through Center Street. We've had a number of single moms come here. We've been able to, just the fact that we can provide a service for them that they can trust, someone that they're not being ripped off. We also work with immigrant families that are new to Canada. Again, not knowing where to take their vehicles, and the trust starts as soon as they walk in the door. Well, I've had the privilege to phone a customer and say, one of the single moms, and say, just to let you know, we had a gentleman walk in here, one of our customers, and he's take care of your bill. And there's a silence at the other end of the phone, and it gets emotional. I've been blessed to work with my kids, Breton and Miranda. Breton's started his apprenticeship, so he's taking on the trade himself. He's becoming a technician. When we do things for people, God provides. It seems like the bank account never changes. So if we give things away, God provides. And as that happens and I do it more and more, I see Him working in ways that I could never, ever have dreamed. And to take care of the finances for this shop, for wages and all that, we never run short. I trust Him with everything to do with this business because I have no control when that phone rings. I don't have control over the people that walk into the shop. God has put such a peace on my heart that I never have before. And I'm not stressed. I come into work each morning and I enjoy my job. He's impacted me in my life that it's not in my hands, it's in God's hands. And it isn't about fixing the cars, it's developing that relationship and that trust. And it just continues to grow. God's asked us to be generous not only through the business or at work, but also in our personal life, at our at-home life. And that's through foster and now through adoption, through a little girl who's changed our lives. Being a father to teenagers and now a father to a 2.5-year-old, to hear daddy again is just wow. From a little girl that has no one to has mom and dad. Powerful, powerful. I go home, when I walk in the door, I hear, "Daddy's home." My heart breaks. I encourage everyone to step out and be generous with what God has given you. You will see His will done day in and day out.